I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the logo. Let's see. I'll just sit up there. Sweet. Whenever it gets there.
Okay, welcome to day 2 of the Under 21 Worlds in Sarasota County Croquet Club in Venice, Florida. This is Fawzy Helmy against Luke Francis. Helmy's playing blue and black. We may get a commentator. You may just have to put up with me. I'm not going to say much. We'll let the croquet speak for itself. Don't be bashful in the chat. Ask all the questions you want. Give us hell if we're not doing it right, etc., etc. Who scored?
Okay. Blue and black.
Okay. John, you want to give me the other score next? We won't do the court 6 score until we move.
That's what he said. One looking. That was John. Dragging that red. Red and yellow's good. Quick 5. Full black school, court 5.
Good morning, folks. We are here for the Sarasota County Croquet Club for another day of the Under-21 Worlds. This is day 2 of block play, and we are just getting started off with a couple of matches here. And we have Fawzy here with blue and black, playing against Louw Francis from New Zealand. Okay. Great clear on red there by Fawzy. So courts are running pretty good this morning, and we have our new fresh holes for the second day here, and excited to see another day of action. So yesterday finished with most players playing either 2 or 3 matches. Some players got in 2, some got in 3, and Fawzy finished yesterday winning both of his matches in 2 straight, one 7-3, 7-5, the other 7-2, 7-4. And Louw put up a really good fight against Eduardo Nunez with a 7-6 loss in game 3, and got a win against Evan Rogers in 3 as well. So should be an interesting match here. This is just game 1. But I think Fawzy is one of the favorites here, and just seeing what kind of form he's in for the first couple of days. His results look good so far, but we get some first-hand action to see his play. Black runs cleanly, catches a piece of the peg, but takes a 4-1 lead with the slight advantage at hoop 6. So Fawzy's off to a really good start here in the first game of the day. So Fawzy's going to play a clearance on yellow here. I assume he's going to go right half to get the most distance on the yellow ball. Yep, it's a really good shot. Maintains position with black. Possibly got a wire between yellow and blue. It's hard to tell. I've been given a monitor today, so the angles that I can see are just what you guys can see at home. So I know yesterday there was a couple of situations where I thought a hoop was scored and it wasn't, but that's it was hard to see on what we had here. So it's happy to have a monitor here and being able to see just as well as you guys can back home. So that decision tells me Louw couldn't see the blue ball. He's just played in, trying to get in the way, played it a hair long, and Fawzy's got a great chance to go up 5-1. Yep, great shot. Takes a 5-1 lead. And Fawzy's one of the 2 or 3 most complete players here, and I would say one of the top 10 to 15 players in the world as far as just solid game, very consistent. Doesn't really have a weakness. He's, I think, one of the few Egyptians that has a very good mid-pace game, and a lot of times the Egyptian style is set and clear with pace with the second ball, and Fawzy's got a very good mid-pace game and controls the hoop with that mid-pace game, as well as having the power game as well. So very complete, very strong player, and I think one of the favorites to win this event. So blue looks a little short there. Yellow is a runner. It's not easy, but we're going to see red take on black. I think Luke's going to take a look at that yellow ball, see how much he likes it. But either way, black's going to go. And nice shot by Luke. So this is my first chance getting a chance to watch Luke play, and he's got really an Egyptian-style Irish grip, high on the mallet, a lot of flexion in those wrists. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting chance to watch him play. And black misses by a yard on the right. Not a great swing, not a bad swing. And we're going to see Luke give this a go. Running this would be good, but running this with pace is going to give him a chance to kind of fight back in this game. Looks like he's come down a little bit steep on that. Got a little bit too much air and just caught the right post. Yeah, great shot. So 6-1 lead to Fawzy. And looking pretty strong here early in the day. Just to look at our croquet scores here, Fawzy has Eduardo Nunez left to play, as well as the match he's currently in with Luke Francis. He has Luca Nettleton and Evan Rogers left as well. And there's a couple of these Oklahoma Wesleyan kids that are playing really well. I've had a chance to watch some of them in the past with high performance development events, and just to see how much they've improved has been a joy to watch, and a lot of credit to the program they're building there at Oklahoma Wesleyan. So a couple of things about the facility here as far as the hoops. They're in fresh holes today, and these hoops are pretty good as far as staying firm for the first half of the day. I think it's very difficult throughout the day for them to hold up, but luckily they're going to be set in, I think, fresh holes either almost every day, or they might go every other day during some of the block days. But I know they're in fresh holes today, and we'll see how they stand up. It obviously depends on the players that are on that lawn. We have some players here that just absolutely kill the ball, and the hoops just can't stand up to that amount of power. But for most of the players here, these hoops are going to prove as a good challenge. And they're being set in between each game. The referees are doing a really good job, and the hoop setters of having a constant resetting of the hoops, making sure they're firm enough for the following game. We have Jeff and Eileen Sue running this event, and for any of you that have played in an event that Jeff and Eileen Sue have run, they do a phenomenal job, and so credit to them for keeping this event on schedule so far. It's obviously only day 2, but everything's right where it needs to be. So All right, so Fawzy has a clearance with blue on red here. Black's in great position. One good clearance, and this could be misses a little on the right. And Luke's got a great chance to take Coupe 8. Yep, so Luke scores. It's 6-2 to Fawzy. And Fawzy has the first ball over. Yeah, really good black there. I think that's something that's really important for a lot of these young players to learn and navigate through this week is best out of 3 matches are very different than single games. And just a lot of times, a situation like this, Luke's down 6-2. This is going to be pretty hard pressed to fight back, but just looking for some good swings, trying to feel like he can take something into the next game and possibly put up a better fight in the second. But, you know, obviously at no point do you want to give up, but at this point, the chances of coming back are slim. Just look for some good swings that you can take with you. Fawzy's played a really good blue in there. Even if it's not a full block, it's definitely a partial block, and it's a mental block, let's call it, where it's enough in the way where it's going to be difficult to put a good swing on the black ball. So Luke looks like he steered that a little bit to the left, and Fawzy's got a chance to take the first. Yep, really pretty. 7-2 to Fawzy in game 1. So nice convincing win there. All right, so we're going to flip over here to Jana Saaid, excuse me, and she's playing against Lane Wyatt, who is an Oklahoma Wesleyan player. Lane won the first yesterday, late in the afternoon, 7-6. Played really well to take the first 7-6. And I don't think Jana had her best game, but Lane, not that doesn't take anything away from the fact that Lane played really well. So Jana's attempted a clearance on yellow there. Missed yellow, caught her partner, and put blue actually not quite in the jaws, but just in front of the hoop. So fortunate break there, but one good jump shot by Lane, and that fortunate break turns into an unfortunate break. Looks like Lane's playing with an Egyptian mallet. I think a lot of the Oklahoma Wesleyan kids have the Egyptian mallets actually that they have been given through the school. So he's played the jump okay. Didn't get the hoop, but he has dislodged blue from scoring position. And so blue not only can no longer can score, but it's going to be tough for blue to hit red with the post being in the way. I think we're going to see her just get back into the wicket, giving red at least a jump. And so there's a couple options here. One is red going for the jump. If it scores, it leaves blue here. The issue is it also leaves yellow here, and yellow's stuck behind that blue ball. This is a situation with black being all the way on the west boundary. It makes a lot of sense to me for red just to set tight, almost just move a couple inches over to his left and let yellow blast blue across the court. But he sees an opportunity now. He's going to take it. If he misses, he knows he has the yellow clearing blue. Yeah, good shot by Lane. So it's 2-2. heading into the fifth hoop here in game 2. It's an okay black. It's not an easy runner, but it's a threat for sure. And this is what I was mentioning about yellow. So by playing the jump with red, yellow is now stuck behind blue, not allowing for good position or a good set, or excuse me, good position or a clear. And blue's far enough out that I believe blue can still get good position. So I really like the set with red there and the clear with yellow instead of the jump. But he's played the jump, scored, and if he thinks black's a runner, he's going to go for it. If not, he's just going to go for good position. So it looks like Lane's debating on going to the backside of the hoop in case this gets in the jaws, which I'm almost never a fan of. I think good position here in jump shooting position. If black does get in the jaws, yellow can take blue to the west boundary, and red's going to have a good chance to play the jump from wherever he puts it. Rarely do I think going to the back of the hoop is a good choice, just because a lot of times you end up putting yourself in a position where there's a large area for a wire, and ultimately it's going to hurt you in the long run as opposed to helping you. So I like that decision a lot better. I'm not sure what Lane's jump shot looks like, but that looks a little deep. We'll see if Jana can get into the jaws, if that's in his range. You can see on the far end we have David Malouf and Michael Saewert resetting some hoops for that Francis Helmy game, making sure things are good to go, and both helping out tremendously this week. So we're going to see what pace Jana plays this set. It's either a firm hoop running stroke, or it's going to be a lag for the jaws, trying to nestle it into the hoop. This looks like a hoop stroke. And she's playing for the jaws, just outside the right wire. And the thing about red, I mentioned he went a little deep. The problem is if you go closer to the hoop, you give the stop shot to black, and Jana has full control of this hoop with 2 balls in position. So going a little deeper is good there, but you still want it to be in jump shooting range if she does get into the jaws. Luckily for Lane, she's missed just outside the right, and he's given himself a good chance here with red if blue misses. So she's going to play in here, just posing a threat. She knows if she takes a shot at red, misses, then red has a free go. I think it's just short of the block. So we should see red take a go at this. But with that blue there, if red does miss, black has a clearance on yellow, and blue's got a good chance to run. So pretty stroke. And red runs it. So it's 3-2 to Lane. Really clean. Runs it all the way down past hoop 6. And should be a large area for Jana to try to land a wire on here. She's already on that line if she can miss the peg. Yeah, that looks like a great ball. Lane's been playing quite well. Got a chance to watch his match yesterday, or excuse me, his game yesterday against Jana to end the day, and I know that she didn't play her best game, but Lane put a lot of pressure on with making long hoops and constantly being in position. So his positional play yesterday was really strong, and seeing if he can keep that going today and for the rest of the event. So from this angle, it looks like red is open on black and has a chance to move it. Obviously, the concern here is actually if he has collateral damage and takes out partner as well in the process. So I'm not sure if he can see the left half or not, but that's what we're going for. All right, so Lane has played a good clearance on black there. Got right quarter, right half, moved black 7-8 yards away, and we get a good line to see this line up here. And if Jana can hit a good clearance. Just looks really quick on the downswing there. Lost her contact point. All right, we're going to see if Jana can keep some momentum going from that 6-yard hoop she ran at 6. I think one of the cool things about one of these events is you get to see a lot of these young players play, and a lot of times there's a few, especially the top 4 seeds, that are very tactically sound and have very good swing technique, and but for the majority of the others, it's interesting to watch them now and see how much growth there is in the next couple of years as far as tactically, swing changes that they might make, and to become a little bit more consistent. And so I think it's cool to have the live stream that we do now and kind of document this and see for a lot of these players get a chance to go back and watch how much their swing and their game has changed over the next few years. You know, I'm somebody that I love going back to watch and see decisions that I might have made, swing changes that might have occurred over the last year and a half, 2 years. And so I think these players really appreciate this in the long run. And I know that, you know, as a croquet fan myself, and for those of you watching, it's just nice to have the ability to watch this all the way across the world for some of you. All right, so once again, let's see if Jana can keep this momentum going, put one swing after another, see if she can make a nice clearance on red. Looks like another ball's flown in from the other court. Jana's just going to give it back to him, refocus, and settle in for this clearance.
Shut it down for a little bit.
Don't shut it down, leave the feed up, just shut down the audio.
Yep. We're going to be right back with the audio. There's going to be a little bit of a noise disturbance. We're going to mute this mic, and we'll be right back in just a second.
Okay, I'm just going to turn that mic off.
Yep.
All right, guys.
3-3. Looks like Jana's got a great chance to take a 4-3 lead and get it all the way down. Really well placed spread there. Didn't really have a great line at that yellow ball. So he's just played to halfway and got something out of it. Slowed black down, get it all the way down. First ball down. Good game so far. A lot of back and forth. A lot of good shots. Once again, like I mentioned yesterday, Lane's biggest strength so far is that she's up front. That's a really, really strong. We'll see what I hope we see, where I really like the red curveball here. Whereas you have a yellow that's really, really good. You have a great chance to score, and you don't want to block the blue yellow. Just put him in that extra distance. He's going to have to play the block here. Just go for position. But if he gets a lot straight, but I really like the inside block here. That extra link that black makes the odds against. So from our angle, it looks like red has been really black. She's going to be going to the combos here, but I think she's going to be doing some shot. Red's blocking yellow, does not block. She's going to take it. This will be a big shot to take the black. I mentioned yesterday that Jana reminds me a lot of two Egyptian players, Amani Hassan and Sulhan Mustafa. Just the technique and her style. I don't think she's developed as much as those wonderful Egyptian female players are. She's definitely on the track to becoming the top. and a half loop shot. Third. Punch. Step down the alley as well. Shots like this.
That's a really good central clearance there. And this sequence here is going to play very well into Jana's favor as far as red's now wired on blue. Black has a great chance to clear yellow wired on blue. And if she hits the correct part of that yellow ball, she's even going to flick towards 9 in the process. So we'll see what lane does, but I really think an attempted clearance on black just to decrease the odds that black moves yellow to a wired position is the right choice here. And for those of you watching, I'm keeping up with the comments on the live stream here. So if you have any questions, thoughts, please, I'd love to hear them. And he has attempted that clearance on black. I think he realized what's coming up soon here. And just a slight miss on the left. So Jana's looking at that line at which yellow has to go out of bounds for it to be a wire. And like I mentioned before, I believe with the angle that she has, if she gets this spot, she's going to be progressing black towards 9 in the process. So this is all set up by that central clearance blue on red that was phenomenal. One good clearance here, and she's got this hoop under great control. So if he has a piece of blue here, he's going to go for it. But to me, this probably is just going to be a play either into the back of the hoop or through the back of the hoop, just trying to cause problems. Oh, my word. He had a great shot at blue. Great shot. So Jana didn't get the wire that she was going for. I think it's a missed opportunity there. It's a great chance to get that wire and level this out at 4-4. So Lane's going to play a red ball back in here. That's one of his first positional shots so far this game. It's just not very good, pretty far off. And that's when even if you come up short, you're still in the picture. Long is just giving black a big area to land on a wiring spot, and it's forcing yellow to make an aggressive choice. So Jana plays a pretty good black there, and not sure if she got the wire on red, but it is in good position. See Gentile with a comment about Simon Dinchev, and You and me both, Jim. I think he's one of the more exciting players to watch this week. He's definitely not one of the favorites to win, but man, is he fun to watch. And to be so young and so skilled, just really, really fun to watch. And he's a pleasure to have here at this event. So just tactically, situations like this in golf croquet come up very often where I use the term offense and defense a lot, where one player that's setting up is on offense, and they're giving themselves the best chance to get a hoop shot, and the player that's clearing is on defense. And the way it works is the player on offense maintains control and stays on offense as long as they can continue to put balls in front and in good position, and the player on defense is having to clear constantly. There's a couple of ways where the tide can turn. One is just what Lane has done there, where you're clearing and maintaining position at the same time. So Lane not only has moved the black ball near the peg, but he's also left red in a running position. The other way that it can change is if the offensive player misses position. As soon as they miss position, it allows the player that's on defense to set up. And then the last is a missed hoop shot. If the player on offense does eventually get a hoop shot and misses that hoop shot, the tide turns to the player that was on defense prior. So I think that's a big part of what our game is when you're on offense, if you can maintain the offensive approach of staying in position, forcing your opponent to hit clearances. And when you're on defense, like Lane is currently, you're constantly clearing in the center. That way you're maintaining, you're staying fairly close to the hoop. Hey, Addison. Great to see you watching the stream here. And Addison's question is, hey, Matthew, what are you looking forward to seeing the most this week? I think the thing I'm looking forward to the most here is the potential semifinal matchups. I think that's what everybody's looking forward to the most. I don't want to discredit any of the other players in this event, but I think there's a pretty clear-cut tier one of the top four players, and then everyone else, vying for a spot and trying to compete. And that's not to say that none of those players can upset the top four, but I think the semifinals will be a world-class tier of top four players. And so I don't think we've had this many top players playing it this well at under-21s from what I've seen before. So it's a strong field with a lot of good players, and I think there's a couple of people that can scare those top seeds. Eduardo Nunez is playing really, really well. I mentioned Simon Dinchev before that he just plays a style in a game that can make some of these top seeds vulnerable if they're not on top form. So I would say the semifinals and seeing if those top four seeds can make it through unscathed.
Who scored? Right, and they're right this one. Court safe for under.
So once again, Lane was working his way. I mentioned the offense and the defense. Lane was working his way closer to making this hoop a neutral hoop and one missed clearance, and now we're back to 2 balls in position for Jana and Lane with the closest ball is 8 yards away. So once again, we talked about how to flip the tide. I think the goal here is yellow clears black. After yellow clears black, it's going to give up a free hoop shot to blue. But at 1 missed hoop, and we're back to a neutral position. So you're looking for any way to make your opponent's life difficult and make them kind of earn the hoop. And forcing blue to score, I think, here is the way to go.
You're looking at the chat.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought, based on what you were saying.
Okay, so that's an interesting decision. I'm not a big fan of yellow there. This allows blue to set, get an even better position. Even if red does hit the long clearance across the court, black now has an opportunity to clear yellow, and blue's going to have the hoop shot if yellow doesn't return that clearance. So I think with red so far away, yellow had to make a play on something. And to be honest with you, I think that was a situation where Lane didn't see a good option, and so he just wanted to stay in the area, but yellow's got to make a play on somebody there, whether it's black or blue. So he misses by about 2 feet on the right. He's going for that black ball because black plays next. And Jana's got a good chance to take a 5-3 lead here. And I think this is the strength of Jana's game is working the hoop to get a close hoop shot and then running it with control. I mentioned yesterday with her match against Jessica Bullen that if she can hit some long clearances and make some 4 to 5 yard hoops like she did at hoop 6 in this game, and she can do that consistently, she's one of the ones that I mentioned before that can scare some of these top seeds. So great shot by Jana there to take a 5-3 lead. And we'll see if Lane can put up a fight back to avoid a game 3. So yellow's okay. It's a runner. It's not convincing enough for Jana to take 2 shots at it, but it's definitely a threat. And one thing I have noticed in the last couple of games I watched yesterday and some of the games today as well, that cuddling is a tactic that is so strong that is not being used by a lot of these players, and I'm not sure if that's a lack of confidence with the speed. I'm not sure if that's just a lack of experience playing a cuddle stroke, but I think it's such a strong tactic, and there's a lot of times these players are within 3 to 4 yards of their opponent with a ball in really good position, and they're opting to just clear them to the back boundary and move them the extra 2 to 3 yards when the cuddle gives them a lot more and doesn't give up much if they miss it. So here's a situation: if blue if blue's open on red. Running position. In this case, because blue's not great, I like a center ball clearance on black, maintaining control of the hoop. You have 2 balls in front of the hoop. But we're going to see what Lane opts for here. There's a lot of good choices. It just depends on the execution. So it looks like he's just opted for a block. I think that tells us that blue was open on red, and this kind of forces her hand. This is a hoop shot, and these are the ones. If Jana can make these this week, she's going to be a very, very tough out.
We're going to cut to
All right, we're going to cut over to Fawzy, hopefully finishing up game 2. And just for those that are curious, Jana did catch right wire at hoop 9 there, and has missed. So Lane's going to have a chance to score to take a 5-4. To bring it back to 5-4. All right. So 2 missed hoop shots, both outside of 3 yards. And she's been really good at these. Yeah, so nice. Maintains control, really flat mallet stroke to keep that black ball, make it stay put. And it's all about flat mallet contact with center ball contact. You get those 2 things and you're going to get really good stop shot ratios. Moved yellow 8-9 yards and black moved a couple of inches. So Lane's playing back in front.
Just some talent.
And blue's going to have a clearance on red here. All right, guys. So having somebody join me in the booth, a familiar face to a lot of you. I'm joined here by Blake Fields, the current golf croquet world champion, and hopefully a serious contender in our event this week at the under-21s. So happy to have you, Blake. How's everything going?
It's going good. Just got first match in the morning done.
Who did you play?
I played one of the players from Czech. First game was 7-1. Second game 7-4. He ran a few nice hoops. And yeah, really good players from Czech actually this week. They have, I heard, the youngest under 21 like croquet group in the world at this point. And they had like a big selection to choose from. They're teaching in the schools there. So Czech's on the rise, it looks like. So excited to see 3 of them playing this week.
What?
Yeah, that's awesome. There's it's just nice to see a lot of these countries develop programs for these younger kids to have a chance to play. And you know, I've been talking a little bit about the Oklahoma Wesleyan kids and what they're doing there, and some of the Egyptian, the younger players in Egypt having a chance to play, like Fawzy and winning the Egyptian Open and just competing at a top level there. So it's nice to hear that the Czech contingent is a strong and mighty younger crew. So yeah, it's what do you think about the facility and the courts and the hoops so far? What kind of challenge is it giving you guys, and what do you think?
First day on practice day when I got here, courts were a little slower. They've been double cutting every morning, and I'd say they're probably increasing like half second a day so far. So I'd say practice day we were probably at an 8.5, Michael said, and now we're probably just over a 10 to 10.5. So courts are playing really well, really flat. No bumpy spots or anything kind of unexpected. Quadways are always difficult, really difficult to get in the jaws on these hoops. You're able to power through them a little bit just because the soft soil, but just really good facility. A little humid today, but we're gonna have good weather all week, and just excited to be able to be back in Florida. A lot of members at this club coming out to watch. Just super nice to see a public facility able to maintain this standard that everyone would be happy with, no matter the club.
Absolutely. Yeah, so Jana's played a really good clearance, black on yellow there. Moved it all the way over near the west boundary. And we're going to see if Lane can return the clearance here on blue. And Jana's had a really good stretch here. This was 3-3, and she's turned it into a 5-3 with a chance to... Oh,
really good clearance.
Wow, what a shot. So a couple of really good long clearances there by these 2 players. And I mentioned before, maybe you know a little bit more than I do, Blake. I've noticed a lot of these Oklahoma Wesleyan players are using these Egyptian mallets. Is that something that Steve Fisher got a couple of, or do you know anything about that?
Yeah, so basically I'd say 90% of all the players from Oklahoma Wesleyan that I've met, they all have played these Egyptian mallets. And I don't know if they're the ones that you could buy on eBay or if they're just the ones that you get directly from Egypt. But when they have all of these new players just starting, It's just one of those things where they don't know if the people are going to actually stick with the game or if it's just going to last for a couple weeks. So obviously, you have the expensive mounts, you have the trimmers, you have all that stuff. But these guys just get these mallets over from Egypt. It's within their budget. So they're really solid mallets. They're able to kind of customize them how they want. I think Lane's probably about 6'6", 6'7".
Yeah.
So he's playing a tall mallet. So they were able to get that taken care of for him. But yeah, I think that's just something that they've started with. And then the ones that are more serious I see are kind of changing over to, I think one of them's playing some of the mallets that Danny made.
Okay.
I think one of them has one of those. And then a few others are just Egyptian mallets, but once they get more serious, I think they're switching over.
Yeah, that's great. I think it's definitely a great way to give them a starting mallet that's of good quality. That way, they're not just starting out with a standard club mallet that's not peripherally weighted. And so, Lane took a hoop shot with red there, and he's caught it off the corner of the mallet and ended up all the way on the northern side of the lawn. And so, it's forced him to make an aggressive decision with yellow, with red so far away. And looks like Jana's got complete control of this hoop right now.
Yeah, it looks like we're just going to see a wire from red here and then black clearing this yellow across the court, probably in the wired position. It doesn't look like she got the wire necessarily. But Lane, I'd say here, probably is going to have to take this clearance at blue because I don't think yellow's going to see much of it. Yeah.
Give me 5 seconds. Just in case you didn't realize it, you are listening to the current and previous world champions in golf croquet. Count your lucky stars. Okay.
All right, so Blake's spot on here. Red's taking a clearance at blue, knowing that the chances that yellow's going to have anything to see are low. And if he can hit this, it at least gives him an opportunity to get back in this hoop. It's pretty good swing
ball.
on it.
Misses it just off the side. Lane's starting to play really well. Saw this. He took this first game yesterday, 7-6, and I played him in the match before that. And our games went a little bit differently. Weren't extremely competitive, but I think just these guys being able to play in this World Championship setting is just an awesome experience for all of them. Steve's done a lot of work with that team, and they're finally all kind of settling into kind of this arena and this kind of atmosphere that they're in right now. So super exciting to see them playing well. We have Abdallah from Egypt over there playing another American, and they're in game 3, and when I left it was 2-2. And,
oh, wow.
That ranking is, those rankings are big difference, so they're settling in. They're starting to play really well.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different here for them with the quadways and everything, so.
Yeah, and I think something you just mentioned is really important to talk about. I've talked a lot about how the top 4 seeds here are kind of in a separate tier than the rest of the players, and I think part of that is just an experience thing, where all 4 of the top players here have played in international competition. They've played in the top competitions in their country, and a lot of the other players just don't have that experience yet. And so, yes, the top 4 seeds have more complete and all-around games, but the experience goes a long way in these events. And so, just for some of these players to get into day 2, get into their 4th or 5th match, and just kind of get their feet under them and feel a little bit more comfortable is a big part of this. And so it's exciting to see Lane in this match, continuing on from game 1 last night to game 2 today. His positional play has been phenomenal. He's had a couple of errant shots here and there, but he's continuing to put pressure on Jana to hit good shots and hit clearances. And I've mentioned Jana that she has a very, very strong game around the hoop. If she can hit some long clearances and make some 4 to 5 yard hoop shots, she's going to be a tough out for anyone. And so it's been really exciting to watch these 2 players play.
Looks like she's going to be able to control this through hoop 9. They go up 6-3 right now. Yeah, but just going back to what you're saying, I think the interesting part about playing in these tournaments with people from all across the world is Lane and all these guys at Oklahoma, and then some of these guys that are just playing across the country. They're kind of used to that like country club version of croquet. They kind of just simple. There's a lot of touch involved. So when they get to this tournament and they see the Egyptian players and just these different tactics and ways to play the game, that's kind of where that experience comes into play, because a lot of us that have played international a lot, we're able to almost predict what our opponents are going to do no matter where they're from. Egypt, we could predict, they're going to set up first ball clear if they're second at the hoop. And these guys aren't necessarily used to that kind of style of play. So I think that's something that they have to get used to, is just kind of recognizing and being able to predict the shots that are going to happen. Because sometimes they get themselves in those tricky situations and lose hoops even when they hit everything, just because they end up chasing and getting put in those bad situations.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very good point. A lot of these players, especially at Oklahoma Wesleyan, are playing each other. And so a lot of their styles are very similar. And so they're used to playing players that play the same way they do. And so just putting them in situations where they're playing different styles and strategies. And I think that's what makes golf croquet so unique compared to, oh, great shot. Catches a piece of black. Black's still a runner, but it's a good line, good strike. Just putting them in different situations where they're playing players that have different styles. And golf croquet provides that, which association rules, as much as I'm a fan of association rules, there's not really styles. It's just a pattern that, you're trying to see who's playing the pattern better that day or that week. And styles are become a lot more evident in golf croquet tournaments than they do than any other version of the game. So Jana's going to take on hoop 10 here to take game 2.
It's a good swing.
Yeah, it's a good miss. She's
blocked red on black. Looks like black's still around her. Lane's going to be looking probably to try a combo here. Try to combo blue into this black ball, hit somewhere in the center. Good chance he's going to just stop shot and end up in front of the hoop. We'll see if black's runnable or if it's only jazzable from that position. But it's good to see that after that 7-6 loss last night, came back out and kind of flipping this game a little bit. So excited to see how this third game will go. Just they're both warmed up by now, used to the speed of the courts. They're a little bit faster this morning than yesterday, so excited to see this third game. It's a good shot by Lane.
On your phone, it looks smaller on a bigger screen.
all right. So Jana's going to have a second attempt here at hoop 10 to take the second game.
Interested to see how she's planning to hit this one. I don't know if she's going to try to master through and hit it hard, or if she's going to try to hit it like a Mo Karim, hoop 9, with a little topspin going through the hoop from an angle. Maybe with a little jump. Can't really tell the angle necessarily, but it looks like it's a little angled compared to that red ball. But I guess we'll find out in a few seconds after they reset this.
Yeah, I think she's going to play this pretty firm. She's done fairly well with these angled hoops so far today from close range. I think she's struggled so far this event with, outside of 4-yard hoop shots. But anything inside of that, she's looked really comfortable for the most part. A couple misses here and there, but making the majority of them.
Yeah, one of the super impressive parts of her game is the stop shot. At hoop 8 over here with Lane, we just saw that she had an opportunity to hit him over to the west boundary, just stop him across the court. And, it's from 3 yards away, and she's able to hit that ball, and it's stopping exactly as soon as it hits the other one. So she plays really controlled game, runs some really nice hoop shots, great stop shot. Play her in my next match, so later this afternoon. So excited to see how this game ends out, and then have an opportunity to play later.
And have you played Jana before, Blake?
Yeah, I played her in the last under-21s. We were in the same block. I took that one and had to play extremely well. It was a really good warm-up. It was my last game before the knockout. So it almost felt like a knockout game. She's a really good player. It's really nice in Egypt. They're all able to compete against each other at that level. And she runs that one easily. So 7-3 game 2, probably going to start game 3 in probably 10-15 minutes after they reset all these hoops. But yeah, excited to see how this next one goes.
Yeah. So for those of you that have been following, Fawzy won game 2. I believe it was 7-2, maybe 7-3, but regardless, he won in 2 straight. So he takes down Louw Francis, and we're headed to a game 3 here between Lane and Jana. So we've got some good ones coming up.
I'm going to go get a quick score report with us for Abdallah in that game 3.
Yes,
That's
please
our
do.
only game besides this one at a game 3 at this stage, just because they resumed this morning. So I'll be back with that score and let everyone know.
Sounds good.
Good job. Thanks, man. We can just take a break, unless you want to talk. Just tell them we're going to take a break. You
All right.
guys keep shooting. We're going to take a break.
We're going to take a short break here and come right back to you. We're going to still have a feed going for you, but the commentary will come back once we get started back with Game 3 of that match. And until then, enjoy any games that we might be able to show, but I think the cameras are all pointed to these far lawns 5, 6, and 7. There's nothing going on right now, so we'll be back very shortly with Game 3.
I'm going to court 5 now, right?
You want to start now?
Good morning.
Morning.
You guys flip check?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to be your referee in charge. You'll be sitting over there or
Is right there.
close to the sheet as I can. Have fun. Good luck, both of you.
Go over real quick.
course, is David Malouf. Second in the AC Worlds in 2016. Won the National Doubles Golf Croquet Championship with his son Kyle a couple of times. And had a hand in developing the new Arrow Mallet by Don Oakley, our exclusive equipment sponsor for the channel. You make the call.
لا ده عبد الله خلص جنين هم لسه
case you wondered, we don't have any commentary right now. The noise you're hearing is all there is. I'll try to keep that yellow bar current about whether we have comments or not. So right now there's nobody here doing that. Matthew will be back, I'm sure. And I made that announcement because Becky Essex said, "Where's my grandson? What did you do with him?"
U23 here would be more.
Nehemiah McFrederick, both from Steve Fisher's program at Oklahoma Wesleyan, are both 6'7" or 6'8". They call them the Twin Towers. Not the luckiest of monikers, but
this one.
Who's four on that
Maybe
court?
a little better. It'll work.
She's gonna take this hoop shot with yellow. So you know. Sitting there fun.
bit.